Going back to the Trump and DeSantis concept. So, you talked about, hey, you're going to win by 15. I think 6 or 7, right? He wins by 20. 20? What are you talking about? His speech, he was on fire.
Yeah.
He said, look, I just want to say when I first won, I won, and many of you didn't vote for me the first time. Those of you who have now voted for me, I want to tell you thank you for trusting me to vote me in, right? I mean, there's an emotional connection now with Miami-Dade.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Them to support you? So I think that the difference is DeSantis' personality doesn't allow for blind spots. Everybody has them. No matter how paranoid you are, you have blind spots. Trump's personality creates many blind spots. And the tough part is, I don't know if Trump's asking, what do you think? Okay, so I don't know if Melania's talking to him late at night. I don't know if Ivanka's talking to him. I don't know if Junior's definitely not going to be saying, hey, I think it's DeSantis. He would never, ever say that. It's kind of like Junior telling his father, Gotti, hey, Dad, I think it's time for somebody else to be. It's just not going to happen. That mindset's not going to be there. However, everybody thinks they know how Trump thinks. Everybody thinks they understand this guy. Everybody's like, here's what I would do if I was Trump. You haven't been him for 77 years. You don't know what his mom told him when he was 12 years old. Son, never let anybody, da-da-da-da-da. You don't know what his dad told him when he was 8 years old. And for him to throw in the towel as a method of being disloyal to his parents, you don't know those. We don't talk about those conversations privately. Those are very emotional. And his loyalty is not to his wife. I'm not talking in a marriage sense. I'm talking in a vision sense. His loyalty is not to his kids. His loyalty is not to the Republican Party. I feel his loyalty is to that 8-year-old kid, that 14-year-old Trump who had a conversation with a grandpa or Fred or his older brother who became an alcoholic or whoever it is. I feel if there's anyone he talks to privately when he's praying or he's talking to God or he's doing anything, I think he's talking to his parents. He's talking to his, hey, Mom, what do you think I should do? Hey, Dad, what do you think? I think those are the types of conversations. As weird as it sounds, I don't think he's calling regular people saying, what do you think we should be doing next? Now, I did talk to Giuliani when we were at his house, and we were doing the interview for Mafia States of America, which, by the way, today Rolling Stones did an article on the... it's in Rolling Stones.
By the way, I think it's the 1-year anniversary coming up right now.
It could be, it could be.
Yeah,
but
Mafia States of America.
You're right. It's
Sammy the Bull, Michael Franz.
We're sitting there with Rudy, and, we talk Trump, and Rudy says that, him and Trump had a conversation, and he says, look, if you notice I'm being unhealthy and I can't talk, I'm not the same communicator, and I'm sounding like Biden, tell me to stop, I'll stop. Okay?
That's what Rudy said?
That's what Rudy said
you?
To me. That him
and he doesn't know you? Yeah. Meaning like you're not a confidant with him?
No. Rudy said to me that Trump told him that.
No,
not Rudy.
I thought Rudy's telling you this. Yeah, by the way, if I start babbling, just tell me to
Trump
stop it.
told Trump said to Rudy, hey, so here's so I don't see Rudy, it was a 3.5-hour interview. It was a 4-hour interview. We sat there in his living room. We're talking. This is, by the way, this is a week after they took the stuff out of his FBI came in. So it's like at the time when this was taking place. And so if he says that to Rudy, that means there's a few people something. Maybe there's a few people there. But here's the other thing that we can't forget. I think, I've been running a sales organization for 21 years. The mistake I made early on, as in my 20s and my early 30s, I picked my killers and my rabbits too early. Just because I liked their personality or I like how they were or and I'm like, yeah, but that guy's too quiet. Yeah, but that guy's not as fired up as that. Yeah, but that guy's a better speaker than this guy. There was a guy named Jose. Jose was a quiet guy. Nobody banked on Jose. When I first started my own insurance company, crazy story, September 23rd, I had 52 agents that were working with me directly. I told them, I said, guys, you can pick and choose these 7 people you can work with, okay? These 7 people. Choose to work with any of these 7 people. You get to pick and choose and come and tell me, because now that I'm running a company, I can't be working with you guys directly. I have to do operations. There's this guy named Jose, okay, and his wife Marlene. Do you know how many people picked him? 0. Do you know today his business, his agency, does 40 to 50 million a year, more than anybody that was in that room and more than anybody that's ever been with us. So meaning you can't pick your rabbits too early. You can't pick a person saying, this is a long race. A lot can happen the next year and a half. We don't know what's going to be taking place. We don't know what's going to be happening to Arizona. If Kerry Lake wins Arizona, okay, and let's just say Nevada, what's the guy's last name? Laxalt. Let's say he wins it. Let's say
he was DeSantis' roommate in college. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So if they win 51-49 Senate, say that happens. It's not likely it's going to happen, but let's just say it does happen. Walker wins, the runoff in December. Let's say Nevada wins, and let's say Kerry Lake wins. Trump can say, I had a victory. So, there is that part where he can say, Kerry's my person. Kerry said, my favorite person in the world. My second favorite person in the world is my husband. My first favorite person in the world. You saw what she said?
Yeah.
And she's a very much of a, if Trump is here, DeSantis is here in the way they handle issues, they're both direct. I think Kerry's here.
Yeah.
I don't think she's here. I think she's here. She'll call people out. So it's still too early. The season, everybody is about, in NFL, they say who's going to win the Super Bowl, whoever stays healthy when the playoffs start. The playoffs hasn't started yet for presidency. You don't know what issue is going to come out with DeSantis. You don't know what's going to come out with Biden. You don't know what's going to come out with Newsom. You don't know what's going to come out with Trump. We still have a lot of time on what's going to take place. So with all the craziness taking place, I believe future looks bright. If you believe future looks bright, get your latest Future Looks Bright hat of Valuetainment. It says Future Looks Bright here. Future Looks Bright here. We got them in white. We got them in black. We got them in red. Our black on black sold out. These are about to sell out. If you haven't ordered one yet, we had a person in Michigan bought one, then he bought 3. Then when those 3 people weren't in the office, they had to order 58 of them because people wanted the Future Looks Bright hat, especially during times like this, because ain't nobody saying Future Looks Bright. To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here. And to watch the entire podcast, click here. Take care, everybody.